Hello, fellow comic book enthusiasts. Um, Welcome to the 500th episode of Cheap Comic Collector. Isn't that ridiculous? 500 episodes, man. Wow. Um, got some fun stuff planned today. And one of the things I'm most excited about is I'm going to be repairing this book. Uh, just got this in this past week or so, and been waiting to film this episode to do the repair on it because, as you can see, the book binding is all falling apart. And we'll be going over that. Um, and this will be my first attempt at doing something like this. It seems pretty easy, so I shouldn't mess it up too bad. And we'll take a look at that. We're gonna look at some Disneyana stuff. Uh, I've been busy, organizing my collection and had the opportunity to uncover a shelf that I can't normally get to a little bit. So I grabbed a few Disneyana card sets from Disneyana conventions to show you. And then, of course, we're going to do a comic book unboxing and do another flat rate box of comics that will be in the next upcoming sale on Saturday. Also, it's Halloween week, so we got this guy hanging out back here. This is the Hatbox Ghost from the Haunted Mansion at the Disney parks. And the effect, there used to be a Hatbox Ghost a long time ago, and they took it out because it was too hard for them to have keep the effect working or something like that. But in the past, I don't know, at some point over the past couple of years, they reintroduced him into the Haunted Mansion, and what it happens is his head will disappear and it'll reappear in the box, and that's basically all the effect is. But for a long time, it was a legendary figure of did it exist? Did did it ever exist? And so on and so forth. Because some people would remember seeing it, but it was so short lived that other people are like, no, that's never been there, and so on and so forth. But anyway, they had this out a few years ago, and I bought one. So I thought it was really cool. And it's made to be a Halloween decoration. You're supposed to put it up in your window. But the thing is huge. I have no windows that are that big. If it was a little thicker, it'd make a great shower curtain. It's so anyway, he'll be hanging out with us this week for most of the week, and unfortunately, I couldn't really place him in a good spot, so I gotta go off to the side like this so you guys can see him. But anyway, let's get into the bookbinding repair because I really wanted to do that. I've been wanting to do this and fix this book all week. It was so hard for me to not fix it and wait until I had the opportunity to record doing it. So I'm just going to swap over to my other camera so you guys can see up top. Let's see, you don't need to see my notes. And we'll get some light on the subject here. And yeah, so we're going to take a look at this. So this is Little Orphan Annie Bucking the World. It was published by Couples and Leon in 1929, 7 years before my mother was born. And it's just a reprint book of Little Orphan Annie comic strips. So these particular ones were from 1928, I believe. They didn't usually waste much time back then in putting out a reprint book. I'm having a hard time reading. The light's turned the wrong way. Maybe that'll help. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are 1928 copyrights on each strip. So, and there was a little bit of coloring damage. Somebody colored that panel in, and then there's a couple others. The worst one, a little chunk out of that page, but that's okay. I colored this, and there's some staining here from something as well. And then there's this one with some color marks here and there. This one is the one that's really a pain because it actually goes into the writing and kind of destroys the artwork. All the rest of them, they just kind of used it to color in some colors. It's okay. That's kind of typical for something that's been around this long. Somebody was bound to use it as a coloring book at some point. So, but Couples and Leanne did a lot of reprint series. I think this isn't the first one of Little Orphan Annie. I think this is the fourth or fifth one, something like that. But as you can see on the back, the binding was bad. And I got this off eBay. It was less than $10 with shipping and handling. It came to like $10.42 or something like that. And I saw this, they had this fully disclosed and everything, but I was like, oh, I can fix that. All you need is some new like cloth binding tape, right? So went on Amazon after I got it and grabbed this for less than $10 a roll. And this is actual book binding tape that's made to fix this sort of thing. So I was looking at it and how the best way to do this would be, because as I looked at it, I was like, my first thought was like, well, I can just tape over the old binding. But then I was looking at it, I was like, well, maybe that's not a good idea, because they won't actually bind to the book. It will just kind of hang on there sort of. And so I was looking at see how it was, maybe I want to cut this off, or do I want to keep it on there? So I was looking at how this was made. And it's got like an extra piece of the binding going through here to create, and you can see where there used to be a piece down here as well at the other end. There's a little flap here. And then if you look on the inside, you see that this binding tape actually goes underneath the end pages, right? The inside of the cover. So the way that, in order to do this properly, I would basically have to remove the end covers and create new end covers. And I'm not going to do that. I just want the book to hold together. It's for my collection. It's not like I'm trying to fix it and get it resold or anything. Even this on the back of here, you can see this is all ripped up. Yeah, I should probably glue this back down, but I'm not going to. I want to keep it in its natural state as much as I can. So what I've decided to do would be to leave this on here, because I'm not sure how well the tape would go onto this, since there's no longer a piece of paper going in between there. I guess if all else fails and it just turns out terrible, I could cut these off and create a small end piece of paper to go around there, but I don't want to get that much into it. So what I'm going to try and do is keep all of this on here and just line up the new tape with the binding and put it on there really tight, so that you still have all these little lines and things that are supposed to be there. And then hopefully that's all I need to do. It will cut it to fit where it would be on the back. Maybe since this is so thick, I may extend it on the back, because this is gonna this will probably come out to around in here somewhere. Let me get my ruler here and I'll show you. Like the tape will probably come out to around in here instead of being way back here. But I'm okay with that on the back. I think it will help it hold together better, and plus it'll cover up a lot of this where it's been damaged in the past with the cover piece being ripped off the cardboard. And what I want to do is cut it leave a little extra on the ends so that when I can cut it and I can fold in, like just how they folded it in on here. If you can see this, like right here, you can't see it because it's underneath the thing. But they actually folded the tape under here before they applied all of this. So I want to put some of that, leave a little bit of overlay and fold it over, because I don't want that edge, an edge of tape, right? I want to have a nice, that's going to get caught on things and peel off or whatever. I want to have a nice rounded thing, so so what I want to do is do that, fold it over on the inside as much as I can, and then if you open it up, there's like a little, I may be able to tuck, like put a couple slices, and then fold it over to the back, fold it over to the front, and then fold it over inside of itself. So there's a little, there's a nice edge instead of the edge of the tape. There's a nice curved fold in the tape. And the same thing at the bottom, of course. So that's the plan. And now that I've explained all of it, I'm making myself nervous. Because I want this to turn out good. What I am going to do is I'm going to cut off a lot of these little, just little string pieces that are left on there from past wear, because I don't want them messing up the tape and sticking out from underneath. And then you got to deal with that little line that might be in the tape, or that might keep it from sticking nicely. So we're going to do that. And this is kind of rough right here, so I'm just going to take off a little bit of that. And this part here too as well. All right, so that's the plan. Let me get rid of all that so it doesn't get stuck to the tape at all. And then we got our tape. And this tape doesn't feel real sticky to me, so I'm actually going to cut it down a little bit at the beginning. And I just want enough fold over where I can put it over safely, and I want to line it up with that red. I did want to get red tape for this, but I couldn't find it on Amazon, and I wasn't so worried that I wanted to make a special trip to try and find red tape or go searching for it too much. It wasn't that big of a deal to me, but it would have been nice to keep it as close to the original as I could. Although, like the issue of this that's published, that shows the picture on Grand Comics Database, it actually has a green binding on it instead of the red. So perhaps they just use different colors anyway. So I want to get that nice and tight. Try to make sure there's no wrinkles on it. And what it's doing is it's as expected. It is, it's taping to the old tape, not the binding, or not the edge itself. So hopefully that's not going to be a problem because of the rest of it being nice and tight on here. And it didn't actually go as far onto the back as I expected it to. I guess it didn't allow. There was more there than I expected. I get that little wrinkle out of there, and I just squish this together. I don't want to do that. All right, so I'm not completely happy with that because you can see the cover isn't covering the pages, which is going to create more problems. So I want to reposition that a little bit if I can. I'm going to try and take that off. I may just have to cut a new piece of tape and start over again. But I want this to be out here like that. So let's try that again. All right, so doesn't look too bad. It's not as tight on the edge as I would like because I wanted to make sure it would cover those pages, but let's see on the inside what it looks like. Yes, it actually opens up to there. So what I might do is I might take some Elmer's glue and just put that in there and make a nice smoothness to it and sort of stick that on there. So it will stick better. So that way when I open it, it's like this instead of the whole thing opening up. But this will allow me to cut the tape a little bit better. Let me put piece of cardboard under here so I'm not cutting into the desk, even though it's a beat up old desk. And I'll see if I can do this nicely. Oh, you know what? Since this is like this, I can fold over this whole thing here. And that'll make it a little bit easier, actually. And look a little bit nicer, I think. So I can do that. And then same thing on this side. All right, and then we'll flip this back over again. And that's not quite working out the way I thought it would. See if I can. Yeah, I gotta cut this tape a little bit smaller on this side because of the way it's connected in here. Not a whole lot, just a little bit more, so there's not that extra piece there. And I can fold that in like so. And then do the same thing on this side. And then question is what to do with that little extra bit. I think I can just fold it into here, and that way it's still folded there. So I've got a nice edge. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Let's take a look, see how I did. It's got the nice binding, nice and black. Got a little bit of a line in there, a bump in there that I wasn't expecting, but that's all right. Pretty good for my first attempt at doing anything like this. And then I still have that back wanting to pull back that way instead of covering the pages just a little bit. Guess it's the book equivalent of a rollover. And then, yeah, I think I want to glue this. So we got some Elmer's glue I used recently. This is Elmer's Glue All. It's a multi-purpose glue, extra strong formula. It seemed to work pretty good on the comic albums that I did recently, where the covers were loose, but the book was intact and perfect. It's just that the glue had dried out. So I think I want to do that on here as well. And what we're going to do is we're just going to put a bead of glue in here. Not very much. Just like that. And then I'm actually just going to take my finger and create a nice spread of glue along there. And just to rub the extra off on the page side. And this, I should point out too, that these, I would have second thoughts about doing this, except this is already sealed. All these folds of pages that are in here to create the book, there's no gap in between those. They're stapled together, and from the old glue, it's still kind of sealed. So, so yeah, we're going to do that, and we're just going to fold it up. And I'm going to let it sit as much as I can on that spine. Just going to press the spine as much as I can here. And because we want that glue to take hold and stick, so that it will open like this rather than the whole thing coming apart in my hand as I open it. So, and I don't really want to repair all that. I could have, just created new covers for this. Could have got a couple pieces of cardboard and even used a backing board from a regular comic book and just printed this out and created a whole kind of new cover for it. But I don't like, I do this to preserve them for my collection, not so much as to restore them as to just stop them from disintegrating and falling completely apart. So, so yeah, that's what we did here. And let me know in the comments how I did. I think I did pretty good. And we'll probably find out. I'll probably just leave it sitting here like this on my desk with something pressed up against it, so it's sitting on the glue, and hopefully that'll make a nice tight little seal on there. And yeah, did that right now. Just stuck it in the slot over here, and we'll see how that all ends up. Gonna take a drink. we'll get on to the next portion of today's show, which is the trading cards. We've got 3 sets of Disney Anna trading cards. These were available as limited edition sets at the Disney Anna conventions that Disney used to have before they started doing the D23 stuff. They're all limited to 2,000 sets. This is from 1999. This is from 2000. And so this is probably 2001. Yeah, 2001. All right, so we'll start with the 1999 one. Safari Adventure, 25 trading cards. That was the theme. Each convention had like a theme for the merchandise and stuff that year. So that's what these are. They were themed to a safari adventure or adventure in general. And they come with this little carrying case, which unfortunately over the years, at least on one of these sets when I was looking at them, has warped the cards somewhat because of the way they're wedged into this. But of course, this is part of the whole package. You don't want to, you don't want to really take them and put them in plastic when you can store them in this. But I'm going to zoom in quite a bit more so that you can see the cards. I forgot I'm not on my phone, so I can't zoom in that way. I should be able to zoom in with this, though. I just got to pull up my controls if I can remember where those are. Sorry, I had to not only had to bring up the controls, but I had to bring up the picture again so that once I found the controls so that you can see the cards better. So, all right, so it looks like I can, that's as far as I can zoom in right there. So we'll go with that. And unfortunately, the light's washing out the color a little bit. Let me see if I can dim the light. Yeah, that's a little more realistic. The color, the green color especially, is a lot more vivid on these in person than what it looks like on this camera. But anyway, each card is created by a different artist. This is the card for the set, but every other card has like a picture of the artist on the back and the name of the card, the painting, whatever they did to create the artwork, and like the and so forth. I don't know, for some reason these have a film and a date on the back. I don't quite understand that because this does nothing to do with the film other than Indiana Jones. It says Jungle Rhythm 1929, which I think was a Mickey Mouse cartoon. But we're gonna set this to the side for right now so you guys can see these better, because these 3 cards actually form a triptych of a scene with, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy in the temple in Indiana Jones. So those are pretty cool. And even though these are 3 different cards, they were actually each created by a different artist. So pretty cool. I like these. These 3 are my favorite from this set, definitely. Enjoy those a lot. And then we'll just go through the rest of the set here so you can see them. You got this guy. It's a relatively unknown Disney character these days, called Lambert the Sheepish Lion. I wonder if they actually have that film. See, this one, they have that film on there in the year it came out, 1952. So I'm not sure why these all have different names as and titles of films as inspirations when the actual what was drawn has nothing to do with that film. But I don't understand that. And then this one is the wolf from Peter and the Wolf. Very nice. Bambi. And here is Elmer Elephant and Tilly Tiger. That's those two characters that I showed you on the snow globe that I showed a couple of weeks ago of the Mickey's Circus snow globe. They were there as bystanders at the circus, so that was a cool detail on that snow globe. Here you have a couple of birds in the tiki room. Iago and Zazu from Lion King. Iago, of course, is from Aladdin. And then you got this character from Who Killed Cock Robin. Goofy on a safari. Baloo and Mowgli. A couple of the animated characters from Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Simba. And this one's a nice drawing of Pluto as well. It says that that's inspired by a cartoon called Mickey's Elephant, which I'm not familiar with, so it might be Pluto may have been in there. And here's another Jungle Book 1. And this one is based on the cartoon Goliath 2. Timon from The Lion King. And one of my favorites, Humphrey Bear and Ranger Smith. I love Humphrey. Chip and Dale, Donald Duck. Pumbaa. The Lost Boys from Peter Pan. Now, this is a cool one too, from Three Caballeros. Rafiki from Lion King. And Scar and the hyenas from Lion King. So a lot of Lion King in this set. But that's the first set. That's pretty cool. Enjoyed those. I forget what they cost when I bought them. Probably around $20 a set, something like that, I imagine. Because I worked at Disney, I used to get a discount. And then what I would normally do is buy extra of the more popular stuff. And this set doesn't want to come out of the box. And then resell them at a profit, because I would basically normally get around 30% off, 40% off. So I would buy extras of some things and sell those, which made the stuff I was buying even cheaper. So, yeah, ridiculously cheaper than what you were paying if you were just a guest. This had a $25 price tag on it. So probably $25 a set at retail. 30% off of that's a nice little discount. And then if normally I would sell pins and things from the convention as well to get as much of my money back out of it as I could. So this set is It's a Small World was the theme that year. I'm not sure. It seemed to have been just kind of a general theme that didn't apply to everything. But we have Goofy. And I believe that's another triptych set of Goofy, Donald, and Mickey. Yeah, so we got those, and then here's the Donald one. So, and obviously that's from the Fun and Fancy Free segment, Mickey and the Beanstalk. So those are cool. I like the ones there. They're like puzzle pieces, and they just fit together. Here's one for the Gummy Bears, and this is an actually really cool card. Very nicely done. And we got Hercules. And here's Mickey as El Galpin Gaucho back in 1928. Oh, okay. So on the back, it has listed, along with the artist's name and so forth, it has the featured destination. So by It's a Small World, they went by locations, I guess, as the theme. That kind of makes more sense to me now. But it's also interesting because it says what the medium they used to create the artwork. So this was an acrylic on canvas by Alex Sanzo. And the Gummy Bears one was acrylic on canvas by Carrie Murphy. And I guess they're all acrylic on canvas. So maybe it's not so unique after all. Here's a Ursula one. And this one was oil on canvas. So this is Donald with, I forget the name of this bird. It's like the kookaburra bird or something like that. Something weird. And here's a Minnie Mouse playing with some Disney dolls. That's kind of more of a It's a Small World theme. I don't actually know what this is from. King Edeleg and Dolly, Land of the Fair Folk. I'm drawing a complete blank on what that's from. Here you got Donald Duck plugging his ears because Chip and Dale are singing It's a Small World. And here you got Donald Duck practicing his horse riding in Mexico. The gargoyles from Hunchback. Pinocchio, Geppetto, and Figaro. Tinkerbell. Nice shot of Pluto there. That's cool. And here's a caterpillar dreaming of being a butterfly. And I don't actually know what that is supposed to be from either. Got some Disney princesses. Little Hiawatha. Very nicely done Alice in Wonderland by Cody Reynolds. That's cool. And here you have Jiminy Cricket in Geppetto's toy shop. Mickey Mouse with the Small World dolls. Dumbo in his clown getup. And Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And the back says they're hanging out in Uncle Scrooge's study. So those are cool too. Like I said, these sets are all limited to like 2,000. Nice to have, just fun to pull out and look at them once in a while. And then our last set, and this is, they have a kind of a cool feature on these. This is, the theme this year was family reunion. And this year was in, I believe it was in California at Disneyland. And I think my mom and I actually traveled to Disneyland. I don't know if that was the first year we were there. We've only been there a couple times. But the convention gave us an extra reason to go. Yeah, because the other one would have been for a D23 convention. So that would have been the first time we went. This would have been the first time we went to Disneyland in California, 2001. And so, like I said, the theme this year was the family reunion. And so we got Jiminy Cricket with a bunch of wooden toys. But what's interesting about these is they had the artists sign the back, and each one pictures a child photo of the artist rather than what they look like now. So that's kind of cool. I'm sorry, I don't have my hands where you can see the cards. So there's Jiminy Cricket. And here you have this photo of Jeff Ebersol. And he did a reunion of King Triton and Ariel. And I can't quite read the name on that one. It looks like Alex Sanzo, I think. So we got some Mickey toys. Got this artist here, Mark McIntyre. Got Pinocchio and Geppetto and Figaro. Nice little portrait of them. So I'm not gonna say all the artist names, but I will show you their pictures. You got Alice in the Wonderland and basically all the characters from Wonderland. There's Pluto and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Pluto. Okay. News to me. Got Mickey and Goofy traveling to the reunion in a car that has a face on it. I don't know if that's supposed to be the Wizix or what. But that was one of the themes of the merchandise was traveling to get to the family reunion. Such as this card, Donald and Mickey hitchhiking to Anaheim. Toby the Tortoise. Cinderella. Pecos Bill. And Merbaby, I believe, which fits very nicely with the artist's picture, actually. Snow White and Dopey. You got a card that's a photograph, I guess. It's interesting. Barnyard Reunion Tour. This is the band from, I guess, the band concert, where they get interrupted by the tornado. And here's Goofy's family. Even got Dippy Dog in there with Goofy and his son Max and his other son from the theatrical cartoons. whatever happened to that kid. Here we have Mickey looking through a scrapbook of old memories from his old cartoons. That's kind of cool. The kids from Peter Pan, Wendy and John and whoever the other one was. You'd think as a Disney fan I would remember this stuff, but I haven't watched so many Disney. I've been kind of out of the whole Disney thing for a while. Jiminy Cricket, Lion King, Pocahontas, Horse Collar, and Clarabelle Cow. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Chip and Dale. Sleeping Beauty and her fairy friends, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. And Goofy and Max once again. So unfortunately, this one didn't seem to contain a triptych of ones that would go together. This one looks to me like it should go with more art, but there wasn't any in there to match that. So took a little bit out of the fun out of it, but I do enjoy I thought it was a nice touch of them putting the child photos of the different artists in that one. And this is the one that for some reason the cards bent. Didn't do it in the other two, so I don't know why they did it on this one. Maybe it's got something to do with the reproduction of the photos on the back. Maybe because they're glossy on the back and like they are on the front, and the other cards didn't necessarily have gloss backs. I think that's it. I think so. I think they used gloss on the front and back because of the photos, and apparently that over time created a bend of sorts in the set. So that's unfortunate, but that's the way it is. All right, so we let's say try to keep these around an hour. This is probably going to go longer than that because we're at 48 minutes already, and we haven't even shown the comics. So at a flat rate box of comics right here. These, unless I come up with something extraordinary, these will be in the sale. And I gotta pull up the Zoom again so that you guys can see them. Sorry, give me a second. And let's see, a little bit more. About there is pretty good. I usually have it a little bit down, a little bit more, so I can pile some comics on top of each other, but it does not want to move for me here. There it goes. Oh, we'll try there. All right, so we got Aquaman. Number one, this is the Future's End one, where with lenticular cover, so you can see it. This one doesn't have a lot of change to it. It's got Mara kind of changes. There's her arm position a little bit, tilts her head back, and then Aquaman is bowing to her in one scene and then is looking at the reader in the other. So the lenticulars are fun, but this one doesn't change a whole lot. Got a little bit of a thing going on with Conan on the back where his cape changes position. That's about all it does. But yeah, so we got that one. Got Superman number 8, variant cover by Rob Liefeld. Champions number 2, Legacy 29. Wonder Twins number 1. Hawkman number 9, variant cover. I showed this box, or at least a bunch of this box, on Aaron's channel about a month ago, I think. Uncanny X-Men number 12. Uncanny X-Men number 11. So this one's extra thick. Cover price was $7.99. This one's regular size, cover price $3.99. So that's quite a jump. Flashpoint Secret 7 number 1 of 3. Flashpoint Emperor Aquaman number 1 of 3. Looks like Terra is in there. I don't know a lot about Flashpoint, actually. Convergence Supergirl Matrix number 1. The regular cover, which is 10 times more interesting than the collector's cover. And let's see, I got these from Power Hockey Camps. There's 71 comics in the box. I paid 58 cents an issue is what that worked out to. That includes the shipping and the taxes. There are some cool books in here. You got Conan number 64. This one, it's got a bunch of spots on it. You can see up in here. It looks to me like it had mildew or something on it and somebody cleaned it. And so we're left with what's left where they cleaned it up pretty well, but there's still some stuff there. There's also a piece of tape from like here to here I can see. I guess maybe we ought to open this one and take a closer look at it. It looks a lot better in this bag than it actually is. Yeah, somebody put tape on the cover. Oh, there's tape all along here. There's tape from here all the way down to here. What's going on with that? Huh. At some point, somebody ripped the cover off. They did a pretty good job of matching it up, but it got sticky and it took a piece off of the inside page, so there's actually a hole right here. You can see the piece over here where it came off on the tape. It's no longer sticky there, so it won't do it again, but unfortunately there is damage there. And like I said, there's the spotting on the yellow. You can kind of see it there. So for all the damage that was on this, it looks like they did a halfway decent job of making it look nice, but unfortunately over time that tape is gonna yellow. And do more damage than the current good that it's doing. I'm actually not going to put that back in a bag. I want to make sure I can show the defects on the sale. I don't think anybody will get it anyway with that tape on there. But and this is Wolverine Bloody Choices, and it is a square bound book. Oh, it's in another bag. Okay. It was originally $7.95. Two men, once allies, now adversaries. Adversaries. A man known as Logan the Wolverine has taken an oath to protect an innocent boy from an insatiable child molester and international criminal, the bloated human obscenity called Bullfinch. The duty-bound Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D., the most powerful secret agency in the world, has sworn to grant Bullfinch immunity from prosecution in exchange for his cartel-bursting testimony. Though if an engaged Logan has his way, the vile drug smuggler will never reach the courtroom alive. These are the unswerving paths taken by two men whose vows will plunge them into a violent conflict from which only one may survive. Well, that don't sound right. Pretty sure they're both still going. Well, maybe not Nick Fury, but that has nothing to do with this story, right? Let's take a look at the art. Oh, nice thick book. And what else we got? Defenders, number 86. Nice. Amazing Spider-Man, 334, by Eric Larson. Spectacular Spider-Man, number 96. Spectacular Spider-Man 117 with Black Cat and Doctor Strange. Uncanny X-Men 178. Nice copy of that. One little spine thingy right there, just tiny, tiny. Uncanny X-Men 196. Looks good too. The Delinquents, number 1 from Valiant. Also from Valiant, number 4 of the death-defying Dr. Mirage, Second Lives. Champions, number 6. Champions, number 8. Champions, number 4. The all-new Batman, the Brave and the Bold, number 1. Superman, Batman, Black Canary, the Joker. This is from 2011. Does have some wear along the spine right here, especially at the staple. Fleshpoint, Deadman, and the Flying Graysons, number 1. Love that cover. Unfortunately, they had to ruin it with the Green Lantern movie banner. Convergence Shazam, number 1. Convergence Green Arrow, number 1. Convergence Action Comics, number 1. And Justice League, number 39. The People versus Justice League. Who will lead? Here's another lenticular cover. This one's Booster Gold, number 1. We got changing from that to that. Not sure who the Tiger guy is, but Here's Charlton, Popeye the Sailor, number 98. Wada Snozzle's latest invention is a canned spinach tree, apparently. Definitely got some wear and staples tearing out on the cover. The cover is not even connected, unfortunately. 1969, 98. It does look like it's the right cover, which is good. Got some rips in the page and some foldovers down here. So unfortunately, the cover is disconnected. But make sure it's all here too, I guess. The rip here on this page too. It is all there. It does have a spine roll as well. So not the greatest shape, but cool issue. The Ravagers, number 1 from DC's New 52. Can they become heroes? Fairchild, Lightning, Terra, Beast Boy, Thunder, and Ridge. Why is Beast Boy orange? And why does Terra look like that? I probably don't want to know. Justice League 23, Trinity War. Constantine, number 1 from the New 52, 2013. Some old Archie, got Jughead, number 171. Quite a few spine ticks in there, but other than that, looking pretty decent. Looks like there's a bit, I don't know, it almost looks like there was a fold over crease here, but it's been pressed out or something for the most part. Here we have a very torn back cover, unfortunately. But Betty and Veronica, Spectacular Archie Giant, number 138. Got a big spine split there with some tape staining. There's no tape there, but at some point there was tape that stained the comic before the tape fell off. So, a lot of one-page pinup style splash pages for an Archie comic. Cool. We've got Treasure Chest, number volume 23, number 10. This one's from 1968. These are fun. They always have really interesting art in them. A lot of them were, just top of the line artists on these books, as you can tell by looking at this art. Kind of reminds you of like the Dell books in a way. The art is done, except the art is actually just a hair above that, I would say, as far as the adventure art is concerned. Um, just a variety of stuff in those that's cool. And it does have this big 2 or whatever somebody put on there, unfortunately. Treasure chest from 1967. There's actually 2 copies of that. This one's got a big crease in it, but and here's Super Goof. This is number 10. And this is actually in pretty decent shape. There is a tear right here uh, on the spine, unfortunately, but that's the biggest flaw. Well, there's like a kind of a subscription crease going on in it where it was folded at some point. This is from 1968, I think. Fortunately, I misplaced my magnifying glass recently and I haven't been able to find it again. I think it dropped off into a box and got stuck away somewhere. Someday I'll find it. And these early Super Goofs, I've read a few of them. They're a top. They're a notch above like the later Super Goofs that were just silly. I mean, these are extremely silly as well, but there was more of a plot to them, kind of, and not a whole lot different, but just enough to be like, oh, okay, I kind of get it now. And we have the world around us, number 22. The world of boating, and these were, of course, uh, done by the same people that did Classics Illustrated, just kind of as a history book on different subjects. Each issue would take a different subject and just kind of present information and also stories. And as you can see too, is this at least this issue is actually smaller than like the other comics. We've got Jughead number 143, 12-cent cover. This is a cool one as well. This one's, got a lot of wear, especially on the back, but still got some gloss on there, and it's got some spine wear, but it's still pretty solid on those staples. It is ripping out a little bit, but nice shape for its age. And this one I'll be keeping. There's quite a few in here I'd like to keep, but I'll definitely be keeping this one. Huckleberry Hound. It's got a 1967 date stamp on it. It's got a rolled spine and stuff as well. But I'm not sure if I even have an issue of Huckleberry Hound. I think this will be my first one. So yeah, anything Hanna-Barbera, if I don't have it, that's probably going to end up staying with me. Oh, it's got a cut in it, but the page is still there. It looks like somebody started to cut out this and then realized that they were messing up the other page and stopped or something. I should do a page count on this one too. It's got a big rip in the back as well. Yep, all there. So he's delivering milk, and he's got a note that says, "Please leave a pint of milk today instead of the usual quart." So he just drinks a bunch of milk from the bottle to leave him a pint instead of a quart. All right, so yeah, that one will stay with me. And then this is a beautiful copy of this. I mean, it is beat to heck. It's got a spine split at the top. It's got foldovers. It's ripped at the bottom a little bit too. But that's just such a gorgeous cover. Richie Rich Millions, number 31. I just really like that cover. I think that's cool. It reminds me of a theme park ride, even though that's not what it is. But it's got that look to it that reminds me of that. So yeah, that's just, I think that's really cool cover. Here's another thick one. Holy cow! This is a trade paperback from Valiant, 4001 AD. And I don't know anything about 4001 AD, but it appears to have been a series because they reprint the covers as it goes along. There's number 1. And then if you go through it, and the art in here is pretty incredible. There's number 2. So I think it reprints probably 4 issues. 3, cover for 3. The artwork inside is actually more impressive than, look at that. That's cool. A lot of design went into that. It's actually quite even more impressive than the covers to me, but so yeah, that reprints 4 issues, and then there's, I think, some variant covers or something here that it shows in the back and stuff. Earth must rise, Father must fall. And then we got some spectacular Spider-Man, 151, 165, stickers on the bag, 109, 149, 251, and 300. And some Valiant. This is Divinity Zero. Does have a wraparound cover. This looks like all the different Valiant covers. If I didn't know better, I'd say this was like a who's who, but you know, there's stories in here, so it may have just been like a kind of a sampler issue or something. Bloodshot number 1 from Valiant. The Killers number 1 from Valiant. Face Winter Wonderland Special number 1. Nice Christmas cover. Faith Dreamside number 1. Harbinger 0. Here's 4001 AD number 1, but this one says War Mother. So there must have been like mini series that either went along or came out after that trade, the series that the trade reprinted. So there's that. There's another one, 4001 AD Shadow Man number 1. Bloodshot number 1. Fallen World number 1. Harbinger Renegade number 1. All number 1s. Harbinger Renegade number 1. Also, just the same comic. Not the same comic. Harbinger Renegade 0. Oh, it's a 0. Okay. I was reading it as a funny looking 1. Okay, so you got 0, 1. Here's Harbinger number 25, anniversary issue. Number 15. Number 1. And warning, this issue contains the graphic death of a major valiant hero and may not be suitable for all audiences. Massacre, Part 1. Harbinger Renegade number 5. Massacre, Part 1. So, alrighty. This one's got a little wrinkle down here. Looks like it's just on this outer cover. Harbinger Wars number 2. Number 1. Number 1. Same comic, different covers. And here's Harbinger Wars sketchbook, which would have just been like a freebie handout to promote the story, I guess. Got a checklist on the back at least. And that's it. That's the end of the box. So I think my favorites in that one are obviously the Huckleberry Hound, which I'm keeping, and then probably the Richie Rich or the Popeye. I really like the Richie Rich cover. I also like the Popeye quite a bit. So anyway, that'll do it for our 500th episode. Went a little over an hour. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again tomorrow with episode 501. We drop a new video every day at noon, except for Saturday. We do a claim sale at 12:45. And generally speaking, the comics you see during the weekly episodes are what's up for sale on Saturday. So it can kind of give you, if you watch all the videos, you can kind of get a better look at the condition and see what you want and what what you might want to try and claim. It is a claim sale, not an auction. So it's first come, first serve as far as the claims is concerned. And let's see, it's Sunday, so later today, 6 p.m., we will be also dropping the latest episode of Cheap Comic Collector Presents. And it will be the 14th chapter of the Batman serial from 1943. So only one more chapter to go after this one to see the conclusion of that. And that should be about it. It's enough. I got other stuff to talk about, but that's enough. I mean, you guys, if you watch the show, you know about the claim sale that's on Monday with Psychotronic Squirt Gun and his show on Thursdays and all that kind of stuff. So, but those aren't on my channel; those are on his channels. So, have a great day, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much for helping me continue to want to do this after so many episodes. I really never felt like. Never thought of if I ever thought I'd get this high, I probably wouldn't have numbered the episodes. I'm not sure if I'll continue numbering them or not. Maybe I'll go to 1,000 and then stop numbering them. I don't know. But thanks for watching, everybody. I should have gone back to the other screen. Let me do that. Let me bring you back so I can say goodbye properly on from the other camera. There we go. So yeah, like I said, the Hatbox Ghost back there, he'll be hanging out all week, and we'll do something special for Halloween. We'll try to come up with something clever to do for the Halloween episode in a few days. And yeah, we're just having fun hanging out. Hope everybody's having a great day. And so on and so forth. And if you think I'm stalling because I'm trying to set something up, you are absolutely correct. uh, yeah, that's not what I was trying to do. Let me try that again. That's what I was trying to do, but it looks terrible. Apparently, in order for the green screen effect to work really well, I have to have a super bright light. Because I have this light, I have to put it right in front of me. And I dimmed it down for the video, so let me turn it back up. See, so you can barely see my face because it has to be so bright to get the effect to work right. So what I was going to do was be like, oh, I'm Captain Universe. Duty calls. But, whatever. Well, we'll see you next time, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.